Like I say, man, I done had people make up all types of rumors and lies about me. So I don't even. It's got to the point now. I'm numb to it. Old females, jealous females, or females got boyfriends that do stuff to them, or they want to put false accusations on me. That is crazy, man. I'm nice to people everywhere I go. And that's the problem. People take advantage of a good thing. Like I say, man, I ain't worried about it. And it really is. I have never harmed anyone. Harm has always come my way. And then when I have defended myself, I've somehow been in the trouble with people, and people have misjudged certain situations and didn't know what was really been going on either side. They didn't know the real truth. They isolate me in certain situations, or certain people rush in and want to be in control and act like they are playing or being the hero after they done created chaos in my life. Crazy. So, video right here, man. We're gonna talk about these. People got the new homes, some of the newer homes, put them old plastic disconnect boxes on the side of the house. That's why it's important for people to know how to do their own home maintenance. And go around their property, just check and inspect certain things at the house, man. Go in there, change disconnect boxes. Them plastic ones, after the sun done been beamed down on them for over 10 years or more, that plastic be flimsy on the inside. It'll break. It'll dry like corroded. It'll be dry rotted, man. So go in there, make sure it before you do it. I don't touch no. I do not touch the main panel boxes on the house. I don't go in and that's for the power company. People go to jail for messing with those. I don't mess with that. But your main panel box at your house, go in there, turn your breaker off. Go in there, turn your breaker off. These panel boxes on the inside, you'll see a line, which is going to be the ones that comes from the actual panel box, and then you got your load that's going back to your equipment. If you got a gas furnace, I really don't mess with a whole lot of gas appliances or installer, because that's unless if I'm putting a furnace in like a shop somewhere for heat. But other than that, I don't go around and mess with a whole lot of gas stuff. That's like a different. That's a different type of license insurance they want you to have. I don't mess with the gas pipe, because you can go to an older house, and if that gas line is flimsy on the other side and you start tightening it too much, readjusting it, you could create a leak somewhere else. So that's why I don't go in there and touch gas appliances on older homes like that. Much of a risk. On your gas furnaces, which is like 120. I'm just doing this for an example. Your black wire, it's going to be your 120 volt. Then you have your neutral. Your black wire is going to be your hot wire. Your white wire is going to be your neutral. That's how you can get your 140 volt, 120 volts. That's how you can get your 140 volts. Let's say 140. Yeah. Then let me see. When you come over there to I put the other wire from over here. See, on your 240, on your 240, you have two hot wires. And this is going to be your ground. That's how you get 240 volts. That's going to your heat pumps. Make sure your power can be turned off at your panel box, man. I told my dad I change stuff like that all the time. And you put your fuses back in for whatever size your air handler is requiring. Like, people don't know, man. There was, before my son's mother, before she passed, There was an apartment complex for the company I used to work for. There was a apartment complex. They took we were doing installs out there. I set all the rooftop equipment, did all the line sets in the high voltage and low voltage. I did 150 apartments, matter of fact, and I did I would drop 4 line sets. No, I would drop eight line sets because I did 8 outdoor units a day. That we did that whole apartment complex in like 2 months. I was the only one on the rooftop doing those, bending the line sets. Cause I've been the copper line sets. I was bending those by hand and sending the roof jacks to flashing for the roofing company to come back, and they would seal it off. Well, I did all that I was on the rooftop myself. They put me on the rooftop like it wasn't hot up there. But that's why I started wearing my cowboy hat, boy, to protect me from the sun rays. I don't like being cooking up there on that daggone rooftop. Matter of fact, the glue, it got so hot up on that rooftop one day. The glue I had some work boots, steel toe boots, but it seemed like the sole came off when I was ready to come down the ladder. You had to put some sunglasses on some of those rubber roofs, especially the white rubber roof. I'm blind you, boy. So, man, you got to be a jack of all trades, man. You got to be a jack of all trades. I've been doing this. I know people probably worrying sometimes too about this artwork they see behind me. I can't even take that. I do not. I didn't do that. That was my son's. That was his sister that did that. Cause like I said, this used to be her room when we stayed in this house. She painted this in a night. It was funny to me because her and her mama. I don't know. I think we told her she couldn't go out somewhere. She had painted on the other side of the wall. I painted this room twice. Came back in here painting the walls. But she got mad one night because we told her that she couldn't go out. And the next morning she got up. And when she opened the door, matter of fact, I went to work and came home. Her mom opened the door and showed me. I said, she did all that? She painted all that last night? I said, I can't even get mad at that. I said, I cannot. I said, and it's been on this wall. I refuse to paint over. I'm like, man, this girl, she is talented. She did all that by herself. One night because she was mad with us. That mess was fun. I said, no, I can't even take that down, man. She was that mad with us. She went in and painted a whole mural overnight. Crazy, right? Every time I look at her, man, she did that overnight. Daggone. I can draw, but I don't be drawing. I be drawing cars and stuff like that. I don't be drawing like that, man. That's some good artwork. That's art. See, I like art. But like I say, I just be venting. I'm just venting today because I'm in a good mood. My son home. I'm in good spirits. I'm always in good spirits with my son home. All the other stuff, man. The people trying to chaos bring my way, I give it to the good Lord in prayer. See, a lot of people, they organize and orchestrate chaos in my life sometimes, which is havoc. But when God step in and take control, he create chaos. And I mean karma in there. There's a difference. There's a big difference, man. Like I said, this whole thing, life is simple, man. You have to walk by faith. And a lot of people they're not, even with them reading the Bible, some of them are still not walking by faith because you have to take your eyes and put your eyes on the text to read it, right? So when a person is doing that, they're what? Sometimes forgetting the whole purpose of, hey, walk by faith, not, you know what I'm saying? Not by sight. Remember, Jesus didn't have the Bible, but he worked a bunch of miracles and wonders through what? His relationship with Christ. Everything else, man, it was observed. So don't get lost in the text itself. Have that real true connection with God through prayer. That's what's going to carry you through. And I don't think people understand that, man. They want to challenge these different texts and books in the Bible and all this and that. But Jesus walked alone. And as much running as he did, he ain't had time to be carrying the Bible with him. That's why everybody else, they wrote what they saw him do. But people forget. He didn't write the Bible. They were just, those are observation and perception, what people viewed, they saw him do. Their perception. So it's more important to have that personal prayer life with God and prayer. That's why it's been so corrupt in some of these churches, because some people that they get lost in the text and they preach what they want to preach out of the Bible, and people are not going home and doing the work themselves. Read that Bible. It's to help you It's going to help you strengthen your spirit, man. But it's more important for you to have that one-on-one intimate time with God in prayer, and it has to be in quiet and silence, because that's the only way you're gonna hear from Him. It's the only way you're gonna hear from Him. So read that Bible, read it, but know it's more important for you to have that personal relationship with God through prayer. So don't get lost in the text. Walk by faith. That's why it says walk by faith, not by sight. Some people may get that, some people may not. But that's what it means. Walk by faith. When you keep focusing on the text, you have to read the text. So you have to see it, right? A lot of people forget that. It's more important to walk by faith. Have that one on. God will reveal to you what to do next. Y'all be blessed, be encouraged. Your spirit man, speak your natural. Y'all be blessed.